Okay guys, we've got a bunch of products here at First Man. We've got our men's lifestyle supplement, which is everything that a man needs on a daily basis. We've got our natural diuretic supplement, Defined, which allows you to get an angular face, removes all the water, especially good for summer. We've got our Male Advantage book, which is a paperback. You can order this, or you can get this in audiobook format or ebook format. We've got our Better Looking Man course, which I'll bring up pictures on screen now. And we've got my personal diet plan and fitness plan in ebook format. On top of this, guys, we've got a body wash coming out soon, part of the testosterone friendly range. We've got men's boxers and a whole clothing line coming out soon. A whole bunch of products, but for now, let's get back to the video that you actually wanted to watch. Okay guys, welcome back to another video. In this video I want to talk about life setup versus framing. I've been promising this video for a long time. I will do a part 2 of it as well because there's some visual stuff that I need to show you. I need to film away from here, show you outfits, stuff around the house, whatever, like how certain things look compared to other things. I think that'll be a really good video. But I need to explain life setup versus framing because I've not spoken about framing too much on this channel in depth, so I need to show you guys exactly what that is. Now, the difference between life setup and framing. Life setup is the harder part, framing is the easy part, as long as you've got the knowledge and know what to do. Okay, but life setup's the hard part because an example of life setup is having time to go to the gym. Okay, how are you going to find time to go to the gym? You've got work, you've got this, you've got that. You're married, you've got kids. Okay, here's great life setup. I'm not going to get married. I'm just going to date a whole bunch of women when I feel like it, when I've got time. I'm not going to have kids until I'm wildly successful. Oh shit, look, I've got loads of free time. Okay, I'm going to put that free time and the free money into a business, into investments, whatever. Oh, I've set myself up for life. I kind of only need to work part-time now, yet I've got hundreds of thousands, if not millions, in the bank. Hey, I'll tell you what I'm going to do in my free time. I'm going to go to the gym, right? That's life setup. You've made certain choices to set your life up in a certain way so that you've got access to do certain things. Okay? Another example would be you've done what I just said. You've become successful. So you don't have a boss, so you're able to travel whenever you want. You can wake up, you've got money, you've got time, you don't have a boss, you don't have to be in one set location, grab a laptop, go on a beach holiday with a beautiful woman. You're working from a beach and making more money than everybody else who's at their desk. That's life setup, okay? Framing is who you appear to be with that scenario, who you appear to be with that money, okay? I've set my life up in a certain way where I'm financially free. Okay, great. What does that even mean? It's great for you, but it doesn't mean anything. It just literally means nothing until you do something with it. So, if you could be financially free and you could have all the money in the world, but if you don't know how to spend that money correctly, if you don't know how to frame yourself correctly, and I was thinking earlier when I was walking around, I was like, you can literally become whoever you want to become, right? And I remember a quote a friend told me. He said he went to university, he was the first one there. He was stood looking around and he was like, wait, why am I nervous? Nobody here knows me. Nobody knows my past. He was like, I can literally pretend to be whoever I want to be. I can just and then he was like, why do I have to pretend? Why don't I just become that person from day one? And then that's who I am moving forward. I was like, shit, that's really clever, man. When he told me that, I was like, that's literally a genius idea. And that's when I really got onto framing off the back of life setup. And I was just walking down, I was just picking up a matcha latte. Somebody was delivering one to me. It was just too hot. I'm not going outside. I bought my new aircon system. I'm staying here, okay? And as I was walking downstairs, I was just thinking to myself, I was thinking about this concept of life setup and framing. And I was wearing some expensive loafers, some brown trousers, and I was wearing a linen shirt. And then I was thinking, I've got SMP. So you guys who don't know, it's the head tattoo. You can't see it because of the shining light probably, I don't know. Can't really see. But it's a head tattoo, right? And I've obviously been to the gym and I'm in pretty good shape. for like the last 3-4 years or so. And I thought to myself, like, I've framed that body to make it look how I want it to look. I've literally filled in my bald head with hair. I've changed the shape of my face. I've grown this beard out and decided to shape it in a certain manner. I've done a skin routine so I look a certain way. I wear certain clothes so that I look a certain way. I've done certain gym exercises to improve posture so I look a certain way. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, this isn't who I naturally am, is it? Do you know what I mean? Like that. As a kid, I was probably playing with like dinosaurs and cars. Do you know what I mean? Well, I know I was, because I'm me. I know what I was doing. But I was just playing with like dinosaurs and cars and shit. Like, I wasn't who I am today. And it's like, I've created, it's like I've told you guys a million times before, creating your hyper masculine character. And then I was like, I can just add like tattoos to my forearm. If I wanted to add like tattoos to my neck, oh, okay, well now you're a completely different, like, there's a different image of who you are. The guy with the shaved head with the tattoos, like, he's a thug. Like, you could, do you know what I mean? He's a mafia boss. He's like, you can literally frame yourself. I was talking about this to somebody before. I was saying it's never been easier to be good looking in this generation. There's like an exact look where you go and get like a tan, fake teeth, the quiffy hair. You wear the certain clothes that all the guys are wearing now, you know, like the kind of straight leg trousers with the tucked in shirt with the belt and like some loafers. You wear a nice watch and maybe some beads, and it's like, hey, oh my God, this guy's so handsome. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's the Love Island look. Like, it's never been easier to do. And that's basically what framing is. You just decide, you just go, for example, congratulations to Harbonator, the guy who works with Hamza, for you guys who don't know. And I saw a video of him, a picture of him earlier, and he was like, this was me a year ago, this is me now. He looks 10 times better. Looks 10 times better. He's gone to the gym, he's changed like the way he looks more masculine. And I was like, imagine you in another year as well. And this is what people don't understand, is like, basically today, 2 years ago, oh shit, it actually is, yeah. Basically today, 2 years ago, I came back from London as a skinny, fat puffer face, going, like I said, the lighting's weird, but like going completely bald. I had like a sprinkling of hair on top. I wasn't really in shape. I didn't really have a lot of money. It was just before Solana popped off in crypto, and all the like engine sands and Mana coin. And I was just like, I've really got to figure this out. I was like, what am I going to do? I just like broken up with my girlfriend because I wanted to focus on success and fitness and whatever. My dad was ill. I was like, I'm going to look after him and whatever. It was such uncertainty. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just left my job, you know, and today I'm sat here and I just like, I've got the life of like a very small scale drug dealer. Do you know what I mean? It'd be like a real low level example of like fucking Felix from Narcos or some shit like that. I'm like strolling around in my suit, my loafers and whatever, like pretending to be this like top level character. It's like I fucking framed it. I literally created this guy. I'm on a fucking video game and I've created this guy. I have framed myself in a certain way. I've been like, what do I think looks good? What do I like? Okay. It's 2 years, guys. 2 years from that date to today. Like, that's not, you can go back and look at the videos. You can go back and look at the old videos on the channel from 2 years ago today when I first was in that garage. And you guys will be like, what the fuck? That's mental. Look at the difference. And like, I can just continue framing myself forever. Oh, he's a really cool character. I'm going to model myself on him. That's really fucking cool. I'm going to become that guy. You can literally do that, okay? And now life setup is how you can trigger the framing though. Because without the life setup, the framing's really hard. You don't have time to go to the gym. You don't have the money. Like, once you've got money, you can dress however you want. You can buy whatever you want. You can appear to be whoever the fuck you want to be. Okay? You're able to express yourself better. Do you know what I mean, guys? If you've always wanted to be, you know, like I was watching the Elvis film the other day. I thought that Elvis film was fucking amazing. There was a scene where he drives into Memphis in like an old, I think it was an old Cadillac. And I was like, that looks so cool. I want like a modern version of it. How much is it? And it was like 50,000. And I was like, that'd be so cool. Just to ride around in summer in like an old school Cadillac, whatever. And just be like the best dressed man going, playing like old school blues songs. I was like, that'd be so fucking cool to do that. Like, you can pull that image off. And then some like woman can walk past you doing that and be like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, this guy's so and it's like, I was the car playing, the dinosaur playing. You know, I was the kid sat there with my Diplodocus doing, you know, fucking puzzles and shit. And it's like you can frame yourself. Like nobody knows. There's two kids, right, in the area that I grew up in. Complete dorks, both of them. Absolute fucking nerds, right? The pair of them. One was a hairdresser, and I'm not actually, like, I didn't just say hairdresser by accident. I should have said barber. Do you know what I mean? No, he was a hairdresser. Like, everyone thought he was gay. He was just some hairdresser with like that spiky, flicky hair where it was like down here, spiked here, like that old school weird look that guys, some reason, thought looked amazing. I don't know how that caught on. That's nuts. It's like a fucking pigeon, man. I'll bring it, or like a budgie. It was weird, right? Everyone looked like a budgie or a parrot. I'll bring it up on screen. And, you know, his brother was a bigger nerd than him, like face full of acne. And like me and my sister used to stay at my grand's house when we were really, really young. And they used to walk past and we used to take the piss out of them. Like we were really young. We used to be like, look at these two nerds. Like, look at the brothers. They're so fucking weird. And they were weird as shit. And even into like their teens and early 20s, they were so weird. Like everyone used to think they were freaks. I saw one of them the other day on the True Geordie podcast, and he's a successful poker player. Right? Some of you might know who that is. You might have watched it. His name's Spragg. Like, he's a successful poker player, and he's got a massive following, and he seems like a completely different guy. And nobody on, like, I don't want to do his image in, do you know what I mean? But nobody on the True Geordie podcast knows how much of a nerd he used to be. And knows how much of like a weirdo that he used to be considered. And then you've got his brother, who went from a hairdresser everyone thought was gay, got on steroids, got a bunch of tattoos, did his hair a certain way, got some piercings and whatnot, and now I think he's got like 2-3 million TikTok followers. And all these girls are like, oh my god, you're gorgeous, you're so, like, you're the perfect man. And it's like, just took steroids, got tattoos, and went down that Love Island route and went, I need to start dressing like these guys, like the boohoo man look. Like that seems to do fucking wow in this era. Like that's what people seem to relate to. Started copying TikTok trends, and now like he's got like 3 million followers and he's famous. And he's just some nerdy hairdresser that everyone thought was gay, right? And everyone thought was a weirdo, and everyone used to be like, yeah, guy's a freak. He just framed himself, just said, hey, don't want to be that anymore. I'm going to change who I am. That is what framing is, okay, guys? You can literally pick a character and go, I want to look like that. I want to frame myself in that certain way. But you require the life setup first. Okay, you need to like put the hard work in. You need to find the spare time, the spare money to like frame yourself as a certain character. Like I mentioned Felix from Narcos earlier, because when I used to watch that when I was a lot younger, I used to always say to myself, that's who I want to kind of base myself on, like the way that guy dresses, how calm he is, like running a company in that manner. Like I know it's like drugs and whatever, but like having all those people like working for you and whatnot, it's just like, that's just boss mentality. And that's what the hyper-masculine character is. It's a comic book fantasy. None of it's fucking real. Nobody, like people look at like their superstar heroes, like they always say, don't meet your idols, because they're usually just not as great as you thought they were. And the truth is, that's because they're not. They're framing themselves. Like everyone's, like Conor McGregor's being exposed now as being like kind of a bummy, trashy guy. Do you know what I mean? He's like kind of wasting his, you know, he's obviously making so much money, but he's just like a little bit of a waste of space these days. And everyone's like, God, it's getting embarrassing. But back then, when he was at his prime, like he was framing himself in a certain way. You know, he was doing certain things and he had a character, a hyper-masculine character that he was living out. And it was all built on like, it's not fake as such, but it's all built on like your dream, your passion of who you always dreamt of being. Do you know what I mean? The characters that you grew up watching on TV. Like how many guys tried to be like Clint Eastwood? Do you know what I mean? And they frame themselves, and like we're seeing, because everything goes in kind of 30-year cycles, because people get to a certain age, they take over the top jobs, and then they decide what fashion is, what's going to be seen on TV, like the trends in the world. So we're back in like the 80s now. We're in the 80s era, and you've got people with like porn star tashes and mullets. Okay, one guy does it, gets a lot of attention. Other guys go, hey, that looks really fucking cool. I want to frame myself based on that. And overnight, they just go from some normal guy to the guy with the porn star tash and the mullet. Then they change their fashion. I've got a friend who got really big on Twitch, who probably tried about 50 different careers, about 100 different styles, changed his voice, his accent, like multiple times, was just playing it like he was on a video game, just playing around with his character. And now he's settled on one that he really likes. It's like the e-boy kind of look and vibe and whatever, and he's doing really well out of it. And it's like his whole thing. And all of his followers have no idea. They have literally no idea who he used to be. He used to be a Grebo. Then he tried to be a clone of Drake because he did look like him a little bit. Then he wanted to be a rapper at one point. It's like people don't know who used to be. Like I used to be the sporty football mad kid. Do you know what I mean? Football, football, football. That's all I wanted to do. And then you become like the spotty nerdy kid. And then you become like I was the finance guy carrying a little briefcase along. Like you just change along the way. Do you know what I mean? You just frame yourself who you want to be. And eventually over time, you become that character. It becomes the real you. Because you've done it for so long, it becomes normal. Okay, guys, I just don't think I could sum that up any better way. But the one thing I always revert back to, and it's an Andrew Tate quote, and it's really, really good. He said, like a little nerdy, weedy guy pulls up in like a Lamborghini. And you look at him and you're like, oh, tech nerd. He's made a lot of money, but he's still a nerd, right? Whereas somebody like an Andrew Tate pulls up in his Bugatti, and because he's like some jacked, bold guy, you're like, in the clothes he's wearing, you're thinking to yourself, okay, this guy could be like a mafia boss. He could be a mob boss, could be a drug dealer. Is he a professional athlete, a fighter? Like, you just don't know, right? And there's just like certain things that you can do for yourself that really help your image. Do you know what I mean? It brings it all together. You frame yourself. It doesn't have to be the masculine thing. Like, you could be the guy with the glasses, with the nice suit on, and it's just like, this guy's really sophisticated. Like, you could go after the James Bond look. You could do, like, there's so many different looks you can do. It's just like what suits you, what do you want to chase. And just because right now you're just a big mothball of fat and you've got some floppy turkey neck and you just look like a Magoo, do you know what I mean? You look like the weird guy from the Goonies. Just because you're in that kind of situation and you got 19 left foot big toes, like, it doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean, guys? Like, you got 4 belly buttons on your forehead. It doesn't matter. Like, you can frame yourself a certain fucking way. Like, you could be the weirdest, nerdiest, geekiest guy at your school. None of the girls want you. There's a guy that I know, like, this is the thing. I'm old enough now to have seen this happen. There's a guy I know, I used to play football with him. He was kind of chubby, never got any women, whatever. I went to try and invite him to my dad's charity football game because he was a really good football player back in the day. Right, he went from like a goalkeeper to like a top striker playing in like amazing teams. So he framed him, like, he just changed himself overnight in that sense. Today he lives in Chicago. Okay, so he's moved to America, got a beautiful blonde girlfriend. He looks handsome as fuck, got himself down to a low body fat percentage, got like neck tattoos, arm tattoos, whatever, for like complete change of image, and he does modeling. It's just like a different human being. I didn't even recognize him. I'd be like, who the hell's this guy? This isn't the guy I grew up with. The thing is, his girlfriend and the people in Chicago and the modeling agency have no idea and don't care who he used to be. Oh, you were a fat, chubby goalkeeper. They don't care, right? Like, you can literally make a change, move places. Or here's the thing, you can live in the same area, make a change, and people will just be like, hey, this is the new him. Like, I've known guys that have got on steroids, and you say to girls, yeah, but he's on steroids. They're like, I don't care, he looks fucking great. And I'm not advocating steroids there. I'm not saying you guys should go and do it. I've never done them myself. I've entertained the idea of doing like a quick testosterone cycle. Quite lucky genetically, I've never needed to do it. In the future, I probably will get on something like TRT just to maintain, strength and, youthfulness and the frame and whatever as I go into like my late 30s, early 40s, whatever. I'll see how it goes. But I've seen that happen. Like, people only care about the end result. People only care about what they see right now. The past doesn't matter. It's like, yeah, but you should have seen that guy at school. He used to be. And the girl's like, I don't care. He's gorgeous now. I'm going to sleep with him. Like, do you know what I mean, guys? So you can just decide. That's the great thing. Once you've achieved the life setup and you have all this shit available, if you go, like, for example, like me, I want to be the world's most cultured man. That's what I want to do. I've always said I want to be the world's most cultured, successful, like a man who's strong in all areas of life. I can literally go, okay, yoga teacher, Spanish teacher, French teacher, German teacher, Italian teacher. I'm going to have an hour with each one each week. Perfect. Maybe I wouldn't do them all at once. I'm just saying. I can be like, okay, let's hire a interior designer to go and design all of this place or whatever. Let's go and hire a videographer to make me look fucking amazing. Let's go and hire... Do you know what I mean, guys? Like, this is the point I'm making. Is like, you can just have yourself framed a certain way. You can go and hire like a fashion designer, you know, and just say, or like, what do they call them? Like a personal shopper, like somebody who is into fashion, and be like, just start dressing me. This is how I want to look. I want to dress this certain way. Go and find these clothes for me. Like, once you've got the money and the time to focus on these things, you can become your hyper-masculine character. And that's what framing is. You just choose, like, I wish I could just take this out of my brain and chuck it into your brains, guys. Like, to understand, because for some nerdy little 15-year-old who sat there right now, who's like, I could never be... I'm telling you, kid, like, as long as you put that work in and you get the life setup correct, once you get to the framing point, which I'm at now, you can literally pick and choose who you want to be. Like, you know that thing people always say, like, oh, if 6-year-old me could see me now, they would freak out. Like, there's a trend at the moment. Yeah, it's true. Like, that's literally what you can do. You can just say, I'm going to be the guy who's going to be in shape, who's going to be jacked. I'm going to take fitness seriously. I'm going to take diet seriously. I'm going to stop drinking alcohol. I'm going to stay in. I'm going to make that major change. I'm going to focus on money. I'm going to get big into crypto. I'm going to make some smart investments so on the next bull run, I can be the one who's talking about how much money I made. It's like, and then you just start framing yourself around what you've accomplished. So, oh, you made 600,000. That's a lot of nice clothes, assets, whatever. Like, you become a certain person. Like, you grow up in a shitty town or something where the whole culture is like go out and get drunk every night. Everyone marries like their kind of childhood sweethearts and like just some overweight, normal, average woman. And you go, do you know what? No, I want to go above that. I'm going to start dressing up. I'm going to start going to really nice places with nice shoes on. Right, I'm going to buy myself a really nice watch. I'm going to make myself presentable. I'm going to lose this excess body fat. And when I get to that restaurant, when I've peaked, everyone's just going to assume I've always been this way. I'm just some high-level guy. And, like, that's how it works. And then you'll just sat at this restaurant and some beautiful 8 out of 10 comes over, starts chatting to you or smiles at you. You go over to her and start talking. And now suddenly it's like, who is this guy that I've become? I'm now this confident guy that talks to women with no fear, and they like me, and I've got a really nice car parked there. It's like, when did that happen? Like, I was the geeky, spotty kid, like literally 3 years ago. Like, when the hell did that happen? And that's what life setup can give you, the ability to frame yourself however you always visualized yourself being, as a hyper-masculine character, as your dream video game character. The world's fucking beautiful in that sense, guys. I love it. Okay, guys, we've got a bunch of products here at First Man. We've got our men's lifestyle supplement, which is everything that a man needs on a daily basis. We've got our natural diuretic supplement, Defined, which allows you to get an angular face, removes all the water, especially good for summer. We've got our Male Advantage book, which is a paperback. You can order this, or you can get this in audiobook format or ebook format. We've got our Better Looking Man course, which I'll bring up pictures on screen now. And we've got my personal diet plan and fitness plan in ebook format.